My brothers and sisters, today I do not speak to you about money as a symbol of greed, but as a symbol of freedom. For too long, millions of brilliant, hard-working people have lived in quiet captivity, not behind prison walls, but behind unpaid bills, limited opportunities, and the painful belief that they were born to struggle. Yet history teaches us something powerful. No human being was born to live small. No destiny was written to keep you in the shadows of survival while others rise into abundance. True wealth is never born from greed, it is born from responsibility. When a person seeks money only to impress, to dominate, or to feel superior, that wealth becomes a burden. But when a person seeks money as a tool to serve, to build, and to uplift, it becomes a blessing not only to them, but to everyone around them. The greatest fortunes in history were not created by those who chased money blindly, but by those who solved problems, created value, and carried the weight of responsibility with strong and steady hands. You must understand that every dollar you earn is a reflection of how much value you bring to the world. Money flows toward those who improve lives, who offer solutions, who make things easier, faster, better, or more meaningful for others. If you want to earn more than 99% of people, you must be willing to think beyond yourself. Ask not, how can I get more, but how can I give more of what the world truly needs? When you answer that question with honesty and commitment, wealth will follow you naturally. Responsibility also means discipline. It means waking up when others sleep, learning when others are distracted, and investing when others are spending. It means managing your time, your energy, and your habits as carefully as you manage your money. The person who cannot control their impulses will never control their income, but the person who learns to delay pleasure, to focus deeply, and to stay consistent will build a future that cannot be taken from them. Greed looks for shortcuts. Responsibility looks for foundations. Greed wants quick wins, but responsibility builds long-term empires. When you choose responsibility, you are willing to start small, to grow patiently, and to improve every single day. You do not need to cheat, lie, or take from others because you know that the world rewards those who create real value. Your character becomes your capital, and your integrity becomes your greatest investment. True wealth also carries a duty to lift others. When you rise, you must reach back and help those who are still climbing. Not because you are obligated, but because you understand that a strong society creates strong opportunities for everyone. The more you empower others, the more the world expands for you. Money that is hoarded shrinks the soul, but money that is shared multiplies its impact. When you build wealth with responsibility, you sleep peacefully at night. You are not afraid of losing it because you know how to create it again. You are not trapped by it because it serves your values instead of controlling them. This is the difference between rich and wealthy. The rich have money. The wealthy have freedom, purpose, and peace. So do not chase money like a desperate runner. Walk toward it like a responsible builder. Learn, grow, create, and serve. Let your ambition be guided by honor and your success be driven by contribution. When you do this, you will not only make more money than most, you will become more than most. And that is the greatest wealth any human being can ever possess. Most people do not fail because they lack intelligence or talent. They fail because they allow fear to sit in the driver's seat of their lives. Fear of losing, fear of being judged, fear of starting over, fear of not being good enough. These silent voices shape the decisions of the 99%. They stay in jobs they hate, in dreams they have outgrown, and in lives that feel small, not because they are weak, but because fear has Convince them that safety is more important than possibility. But the 1% live by a different law. They do not wait for certainty before they act. They understand that no great future was ever built on guarantees. Vision is the courage to see what does not yet exist and to move toward it anyway. While others look at the risks, the vision-driven look at the rewards. While others ask, "What if I fail?" they ask, "What if I succeed beyond anything I imagined?" Fear keeps people thinking short-term. It whispers, "Take what you can now. Do not risk your comfort." Vision speaks in generations. It says, "Build something that will outlive you. Invest in what will grow tomorrow, not just what feels safe today." The financially free are willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term greatness. They save when others spend. They learn when others are entertained. They build when others are waiting for permission. The 99% react to life. The 1% design it. They understand that the future is not something that happens to them. It is something they create. Even when the road is unclear, they take the first step. Even when the crowd doubts them, they continue. Even when they fail, they rise again, carrying with them lessons that become the foundation of their next success. Vision also demands responsibility. It means taking ownership of your results instead of blaming the world for your circumstances. The wealthy do not waste energy on excuses. They ask powerful questions. What skill must I learn? What habit must I change? What problem can I solve? Every answer brings them closer to freedom. Fear makes people hide. Vision makes people grow. Fear says, stay where you are. Vision says, become who you were meant to be. And when you choose vision, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to notice doors that were always there, waiting for someone brave enough to open them. Remember this, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Every successful person you admire once stood where you stand now, uncertain and afraid. The difference is that they did not let that fear decide their future. If you want to rise above the 99%, you must train your mind to follow vision, not fear. Let your dreams be bigger than your doubts. Let your purpose be stronger than your worries. Walk forward even when your knees shake, because on the other side of fear is the life you were always meant to live. Before a person ever becomes wealthy in the world, they must first become powerful within themselves. Money is not controlled by luck. It is controlled by behavior. And behavior is shaped by habits, emotions, time, and decisions. This is why self-mastery is the first millionaire skill. Without it, no amount of opportunity will ever lead to lasting success. Every day you are quietly voting for the future you will live. When you choose to wake up early instead of hitting snooze, you vote for discipline. When you choose to learn instead of scroll, you vote for growth. When you choose to save instead of waste, you vote for freedom. The 1% do not live by motivation, they live by commitment. They do not wait until they feel ready. The why act because they have trained themselves to do what must be done, even when it is uncomfortable. Your emotions are powerful, but if they control you, they will destroy your progress. Fear will tell you to quit. Anger will push you to make reckless decisions. Comfort will whisper that tomorrow is a better day to start. The wealthy learn to feel these emotions without obeying them. They pause, they breathe, they choose. This ability to stay calm, focused, and rational when others panic is one of the greatest financial advantages any person can have. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever own. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn more hours. Those who master their time master their lives. They protect their mornings. They plan their days. They eliminate distractions. They do not give their best hours to entertainment and their leftover energy to their dreams. They reverse that order, building their future first and enjoying the present later. Your decisions, even the smallest ones, shape your destiny. The choice to read a book instead of watching another video, the choice to invest in a skill instead of buying something you do not need, the choice to keep going when it would be easier to stop. These small acts of discipline compound into extraordinary results. Success is not built in a single moment of greatness, but in thousands of quiet moments of consistency. Self-mastery also means knowing your worth. It means refusing to settle for environments that drain you, relationships that limit you, or beliefs that keep you small. When you respect yourself, you make better choices. When you make better choices, you build a better life. And when you build a better life, money becomes a natural byproduct of who you have become. Understand this truth. Money flows to those who can be trusted with it. When you prove to yourself that you can manage your habits, your emotions, your time, and your decisions, you become a person who can manage wealth. You become stable, you become strategic, you become unstoppable. So before you chase money, master yourself. Train your mind, strengthen your discipline, guard your time, align your actions with your highest goals. When you do, wealth will no longer feel distant or impossible. It will simply be the natural reward of the powerful, focused, and disciplined person you have become. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change your financial destiny. Not the kind of education that only gives you certificates, but the kind that teaches you how the world truly works. Many people spend their entire lives working hard, yet never become wealthy, because they were never taught how money moves, how businesses grow, or how investments multiply. They were trained to earn a living, but not to build a fortune. When you understand money, you stop being afraid of it. You no longer see wealth as something mysterious or reserved for the lucky few. You begin to see it as a system that can be learned, practiced, and mastered. The financially free are not smarter than everyone else. They are simply better educated about how money is created, protected, and expanded. Education gives you the power to choose. Without it, you are forced to accept whatever income is offered to you. With it, you can decide what you are worth. When you learn valuable skills, you become rare. And when you become rare, the world pays you more. Whether it is in business, technology, communication, or leadership, the more problems you can solve, the more money you can earn. This is not magic, it is mathematics. The 1% are lifelong students. While others think school ends with graduation, they understand that learning is a daily discipline. They read books, study markets, follow mentors, and constantly sharpen their minds. They know that every new piece of knowledge is a tool, and every new skill is a key that opens another door of opportunity. Ignorance keeps people trapped. Knowledge sets them free. Financial education also protects you. Many people lose money not because they never had it, but because they did not know how to keep it. They fall into debt, bad investments, and emotional spending because no one taught them how to manage what they earn. When you understand budgeting, saving, investing, and risk, you become stronger than any economic storm. You stop reacting to life and start planning for it. When you learn how money grows, you begin to think low. NG term. You stop trading your future for short-term pleasure. You invest in assets instead of liabilities. You plant seeds instead of just consuming fruit. Over time, those seeds grow into businesses, properties, ideas, and income streams that work for you even when you are not working. This is how the wealthy build freedom. Education also teaches you to see opportunity where others see problems. In every crisis, there is a hidden door. In every change, there is a new demand. The educated mind can recognize these patterns and move before the crowd. This is why knowledge is more powerful than capital. Money can be lost. Skills and understanding cannot. So do not wait for luck. Invest in learning. Study how wealth is built. Ask questions. Seek mentors. Read what successful people read. When you educate yourself, you take control of your future. You stop being a servant to money and become its leader. And when you lead money instead of chasing it, financial freedom will no longer be a dream. It will be your reality. When you rise in life, you carry a choice with you. You can rise alone, or you can rise in a way that lifts others. True success is never a lonely victory. It is a shared triumph that spreads hope, opportunity, and dignity wherever it goes. Wealth that serves only one person is small, no matter how large the number in the bank. But wealth that creates jobs, builds families, and strengthens communities becomes something far greater than money. It becomes a force for change. Many people believe they must choose between personal success and helping others. This is a false belief. In reality, the highest level of success is built when both grow together. When you commit to improving your own life, you gain skills, confidence, and resources. And when you use those resources to support others, you multiply their value. One person rising is inspiring. 1,000 people rising because of one person is powerful. The world does not remember those who kept everything for themselves. It remembers those who use their success to open doors for others. When you mentor someone, you change their future. When you hire someone, you change their family's future. When you invest in a community, you change generations. This is how wealth becomes legacy. You do not need to be perfect or rich to begin lifting others. You only need to be one step ahead. Someone out there needs the lesson you just learned, the courage you just found, or the opportunity you are about to create. By sharing what you know, you strengthen not only others, but yourself. Teaching deepens understanding. Giving builds purpose. And purpose gives your success meaning. Those who lift others also build powerful networks. When you help people grow, they never forget it. They become allies, partners, and supporters in your journey. The richest people in the world are not those who stand alone at the top, but those who are surrounded by capable, loyal, and empowered people. When you help others win, you create an environment where everyone, including you, rises higher. There is also a deeper truth: helping others protects your soul. Money without purpose can make a person empty, but when your success is tied to service, every achievement feels worthwhile. You wake up with a reason, you work with passion, you build with pride. You are no longer chasing money, you are building impact. Lifting others does not mean carrying them. It means teaching them how to walk, how to think, and how to believe in themselves. It means creating opportunities, not dependency. The goal is not to make people rely on you, but to make them strong without you. That is true leadership. As you climb toward the top 1%, remember where you came from. Remember the struggle. Remember the fear. Let those memories guide your compassion. Use your success to create ladders for others to climb. Use your voice to speak for those who have none. Use your resources to build a better world. In the end, the greatest wealth you will ever own is not measured in numbers, but in lives changed. When you lift yourself and lift others with you, your success becomes timeless, and your legacy becomes unbreakable.